Well, we're going into, I don't know if I'll show you inside the garage, but my boom's done, so I'll show you after anyways. So I got the new boom fixed and loaded up. I'm gonna have to flip it over to show what you did. You can't even tell that it broke. This down here. And when I get over there to the job, I'll show you what he fixed up front. But it's all loaded up, got it strapped, and I got, just like that, got it strapped down, and we are gonna head over to the job with the boom that is fixed now. And he did a few other things. This video is gonna be more about, and this could be anything in life, valuable relationships and loyalty, and not trying to control everything. Letting somebody who's good at what they do their job, and trust that they know what they're doing. I don't want somebody standing over me telling me what to do. I guess if I'm wrong, that's fine. I'm wrong a lot, and I listen and I try to learn, but this is a good example. And I'm a person that values relationships, with whether it's somebody that works for me or some place I do business, or friend, family. I'm probably almost too loyal. I'm never going to be a businessman that is going to jeopardize my relationship, even with a salesman that I like, over a $5,000 or $10,000. If I'm going to go buy, we'll talk just equipment. If I'm going to buy a new forwarder or processor or buncher, and I'm pretty loyal to Milton Cat. Not really for Caterpillar or necessarily the line of products. It's the relationships I have there, and that I've developed over the last 10, 15 years. And so if there's a salesman that I like and have faith in, that he's, doing his job, he's going to treat me as well as he can, I'm not going to go switch brands over a $5,000 or $10,000 difference. I don't think you gain anything from that. I think in the long run, you probably lose. So, that's that. Going back to this project, the boom broke. It pulled the pin boss out of the jib boom, and I brought it to Don, Mr. Dufour, and he has got to be the best welder fabricator around the area. The guy's so friggin' talented, and I trust him, and I value his opinion and what he has to say. So when I brought that boom there, I said, just fix it the way it needs to be done. I don't care. I want it right. So not only did he fix the pin boss, but where I had to cut the washer, I think I mentioned in one of the last videos, somebody had welded a washer to the end of the pin because they had probably beat on the pin and the nut wouldn't turn on. Well, he just goes that extra distance. He's so good at what he does. So in the process of fixing this, he went to polish up the pin to put it back in, finding out that the pin was a little tweaked, probably from being broke, and not the pin, but breaking and putting pressure on it. And he said he didn't even ask, he just does the right thing. And he said, instead of putting a pin that's kind of worn and tweaked, and with the time that he would have had in friggin' with the end of that pin to get it so he could rethread it and put a new nut, it wouldn't have been worth it. So what did he do? He just made a new pin. He's got a lathe and all the stuff to do that. So I've got a brand new pin with a brand new nut and washer. That's all the way it should be. And I'll show you when we get to the job, but the extended boom guard wasn't quite right. We had it fixed once, but Don just saw some things that weren't right and fixed that all up. There was a couple cracks on the end of the extender boom where the two little ears come down, that the dog bone and pin that hooks to the bucket that picks up the wood. Fix that. He doesn't live far away from where we're doing this job, so he came out and looked at the forwarder of the main boom end to see if there's anything there that should be addressed, and he's going to run out right now and clean up. There's one spot that should probably be addressed before we put the boom back on. And this is a big test of patience too, because one of the hardest things with at least contractors, loggers in general, specifically because that's what I know, is patience. It's all about production. And the longer you're down, the more impatient you get. Well, so not every contractor, but you'll see contractors that just can't handle that wait time and the loss of production and the money, and they jump and they throw it back together too quick, and it works fine. Maybe it doesn't break, but a lot of the times it's going to have a problem again. So I didn't always operate this way, but I have learned it, where it's not worth it. Fix it right, even if it takes, you know, a few extra days or whatever it is. Just take care of it. It never pays off to half-ass anything, and that's been a hard lesson learned by me. So, but it just occurs to me the great people and relationships I've made around me, and it's kind of a prideful thing, you know, to have somebody that's as good as Don, that is so good at his job that, you know, when you bring something there, it's going to be better. You're going to get something back that was better than what it was when it was new, and it's never going to break again. Same as having, a salesman just wants to sell you equipment. That's his job. So he's not evil. Well, if you have a good salesman, they'll go the extra distance where they can. And sometimes their hands are tied. You know, contractors like to blame them for one reason or another, but it's just the way it goes. So, same thing with any employee of mine. I want them to be successful. That's important to me. If they're not successful, how can I be successful? So pay them more money, you know, teach an employee to be a better employee than the next contractor, and you'll have a better crew. You can pay them more money, you have more competent people around you, and you empower somebody to do better. It's not all about me. I want to see people be successful in life that I care about. So, and this goes much deeper than that, but it's just, I feel like, especially for the woods business, but that's not, I'm sure it's the same in other places, but, you know, good relationships and being loyal with good people and good companies pays off in the end. So I'll be back to show you guys a little more about what he did to the boom and the extra stuff he did, and then I'll show you at least what he's gonna fix. I don't know if he'll have that all welded out before I'm gone, or if he'll get there before I leave. So you guys hang on, I'll be back. Alrighty, we're back over to the job. So you see, now there's a little oil seeping out of the extender boom line here, but so this was the pin boss that ripped out, and it you know, it's, see, well, there's oil kind of piled there, but this round is attached to where that meets down there. So this whole thing pulled out. So he fitted that back in here, and then took, see this 1/2 inch 3/8 piece, he fitted this around here and went all the way back up into here to that flat part of the boom on either side to strengthen it. And then he made this pin, assuming, and I think he said I don't remember, but so he made this pin and he made this washer, and so we got a new pin, and then he fixed this Extend-A-Boom bracket up. The stock part is this that's underneath. He put this whole new plate on top, and then I had this thing built at one point because the stock Caterpillar ones really were not good at all. But so I said something wasn't attached in here. Something was broke. I think the top pieces maybe broke, and like there's a little piece of metal in the center here that was broke. So unhook the hoses. Also, ever since this was fixed, that Extend-A-Boom hose bracket was always cocked off to the side a little bit. So I don't know what he did. He must have cut the top piece or something, but he straightened it out. Now you can see it's right, pretty much perfect in line. And then I think he said it was starting to crack in these corners right here. So he fixed those on either side. Said the bottom was fine. So, like I said, he is just awesome. And most people would be crying in their beer over this, or soup, or whatever. Oh, the money and the downtime, which, yes, it sucks, but I'm getting something back better than what I had before. And instead of slapping it right on, he's gonna come out here this afternoon. And I think the inside right in here is compromised. And see, I think what started this is I did a video last summer where this ear that comes off broke right here, and then the other guy built this gusset but couldn't quite get inside good enough, and that ended up was probably broke before, so it just probably wasn't done right from the beginning. But Don said what he would do, and when he came out and looked at this, is that it'll last. He wants to fix that because we got the boom off, and he said what he would do is probably cut this off and build a template, probably out of cardboard, take this dog bone off and fit like a 3/8 piece of metal over this whole thing and go back up into here and just thicken this whole end. And said it wasn't something we had to do right now, but when we have time, I'm gonna have him do that. So we just got one more step. He needs to come out and get that taken care of. I was hoping to get the boom on today, but I'm not gonna, like I was talking about earlier in the video, I'm not going to rush and be impatient and then not go the last extra length to make sure everything's right. But I'm just amazed how good of a job he does. It's just that he can, make you a brand new pin, do whatever you want. So, well, long story short, we'll be back going and tomorrow. So, well, I'll leave the trailer here tonight, and Wes and I will throw that on in the morning. What I'll do is I'll get the processor, we'll hook it up, and we'll get the pins in, and the bucket tipped over as it was warm, and we'll get all the pins in hooked up, and then I'll probably go back to cutting and let Wes hook up the lines and all that stuff, and then we'll be golden till the next thing breaks. So someday I'll have a new one, which those break too, but I've had new processors, but I've never had a new forwarder, and that'll probably be the next thing on the list. So I guess I'm gonna go back and run the processor for a little while this afternoon. It's like 3 o'clock. So anyways, figured I'd do a video, and this was kind of a little bit of getting the boom fixed, but also a little bit on, the value of relationships and with business and people you do business with, and anybody for that matter, and respect for somebody. So anyways, like, subscribe, comment. We'll catch you later.